Father, and the Spirit. He descended into hell. On the third day, he rose again from the dead. He ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand of God, the Father Almighty. When he heard the voice of the living and the dead, I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness of sins, the resurrection of the dead.
Once I got to Iraq, we didn't have a Catholic priest where I am in Iraq. David reached out to Father Dan, and generously, Father Dan was more than willing to support the idea of David Skyping me into the Mass. So it just kind of went from there. I think actually the first time we did it was Christmas Eve, and it was really overwhelming.
Lynette, early on in our relationship, dragged me to Mass. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago the notion that I would go to Mass alone, I would have laughed at you. But because of her faith and also because of Father Dan, I've become much more interested in converting. The reason why I thought this would be something special for us while she was away is when I reflect upon the times that we worked together, even though I was being dragged to Mass in an odd way, I missed the bond that attending service created for us. And so it was a way to recreate that a little bit.
It also gives David an opportunity to play golf afterwards.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, for me, it's, I'm more than 6,000 miles away from home, so getting to share experiences with David that are more than just, let me see the dogs on Skype and watching him make breakfast or catching him between meetings, it's nice to add another dynamic to our shared experience while we go through this deployment. It's my third deployment, but it's my first one married. So this has been a very unique experience altogether, and each deployment is always different, but adding the extra component of remembering that I'm a wife in all of this too has made a big difference. And so getting to share the Mass with David just helps feed that relationship a little bit more than just
Being prepared for it is still very different than living through it. Well, I don't want to get too emotional.
People will come up to me and thank me for my service, which is really kind and generous of them to take the time out. And I've certainly had those experiences where people buy me a meal or a drink at a bar or something when they see me traveling in uniform. But I think the more important thing is to recognize those holidays like Veterans Day and Memorial Day, that they aren't just holidays about barbecuing. If you take those days to actually do something like volunteer at a veterans home, or just do something that actually outreaches the community.
One of the lessons I've learned from her deployment is that the sacrifice that she and her fellow soldiers go through and the families is much more than, as Lynette referred to, this what I call faux patriotism, where people like to just thank people for service, stand up and cheer at a football game, and that there is much more that people could do to help veterans when they come back stateside.
When we come back, there's a lot that society could be doing to help reintegrate veterans, between folks who promote hiring veterans first, to raising awareness about PTSD issues, to just creating a community that not just kind of gives lip service to the veteran community, but actually does a lot more to help integrate them and recognize them, not in the, hey, thank you for your service kind of way, but spending time with them.